I will see just to make sure how many grade we have on our base, just to make sure. Today the testing of this clean is all about we have these particular things. When we try to siege the base, the damage is reduced to 60% from 100%. You can see if we just attack any personnel or vehicle is 273k, but if you attack a structures, we are being so little, like reduce the damage, being 60% damage. But the reason is because this particular bomber, the Liberty one, is attack a 7th grade, so that's what I have to test today. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so the base is exactly the 7th grade, so that if we put somewhere around here, it's exactly the 7th grade. So I just put it out and then do it a siege with one time. Okay, so I will just put it back. I die 1. It should really not have anything die, but this base may be a little bit too strong. Kill my armor there. Okay, so the next thing is that, yep, this is the battle report. Kill 1 of my bomber. So we have the damage of 656, right? Yeah, this is what I want. I mean, die a bit, it's okay. Not something badly. This is the 7th grade we have of one time damage. I will try to attack here. Attack here is only like 1 grade only. If you check on this side, it's like these two sides is definitely not affected by the base. Only this 1 grade is affected by the base. So I just attack here. So it should be only like 1 grade. So let's see what's the result. And we call it back after 1 drop. Yep, 1 drop already. And we just call it back. And I die 1 flight again, right? No. Okay. Alright. And let's wait for the battle reports. Alright, we have a battle report. So we can start to see, yeah, this is what I try to prove to say that the Liberty Bomber is based on 7th grade, 7th grade and the 1 grade. So it's definitely a huge difference. So now let's put officer in. Put this officer in as well. Then we do another 7th grade damage. I'll just call it back after 1 bomb. Yep, and just call it back. Alright, done. So I will upload this one to let anyone that not understand how the Liberty Bomber work. Definitely, I mean, finally I do this test and everyone should understand how it works. Okay, so you can see the damage being like a double damage. The reason is because the eagle and then the golden, I mean, 2 of them also buff a lot of to the bomber, like the damage things, and then increase the firepower things, any other things. I'm not really sure how the things work, but the battle report just tell us from no officer we deal about 656, and 1 grade is around 100k, and then with the officer we can deal 1.26, almost a double, almost a double of what we have. So I just try one more time that remove the officer to deal the 7th grade again, just to make sure the result is exactly the same. Okay, die 1 again. Okay, wait for the battle report. Okay, we have the battle reports, right? So you can see it's exactly the same. So each and every time is exactly the same damage from what we have from the first time. And then based on how many grid you touch on the base, you will attack how many damage. So 7 grid is the middle of the base. If you aim somewhere else, like 2 grid or 3 grid, then like if I am, let's say I am here. So one time I press the return, right? But this time I have officer, so it's definitely different. But it's not the full damage we have, it's not the full damage we have. Because I am like on this side is like a 3 grid or 2 grid. I'm not really sure. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a 4 grid. It's a 4 grid. So let's see the damage. Okay, this time it's a little bit higher. So you can see it's a little bit funny. The reason because with the eagle, you can definitely have a double damage, and every single time is very different damage. That's why I have to remove the officer to do the damage testing to tell you how it work. So maybe I have to just to show you, to prove that, to have no officer, so the double damage things doesn't affect, and then we can attack here. The same thing we have, right? Yep, return. So we have this battle report is from the previous one. It's still a little bit low, 1.26, and we have this one 1.26 as well. Okay. But this one is a little bit funny. We have 1.89. That means we get the double damage somehow. So this one, you can see it's a little bit lower. Based on 4 grade, we have 400 over. That's why with the officer, definitely we have better damage. So I will just swap the officer to see if there are any effect changes. Like the eagle on the second, and the first one is golden. Let's see what we have this time. Okay, call it back. Alright, so let's wait for the battle report. Okay, we have a little bit different 1.4 mil instead of 1.26. So I'm not really sure how to test it correctly, but definitely you want to try to swap your officer most of the time. And because of the eagle have sometimes give you some double damage of the critical strike. That's how the damage keep on changing all the time. But we can just try one more time to see if it keep on 1.4 or back to 1.26. Then we'll know the difference, whether we get the double damage or not. Because the base damage from the officer. So let's see. Alright, finally we have it. We can just look at the bomber. So you can see the base damage is 1.4 million. If we have eagle on the front, and then it's 1.26. So, but when we do something like this, give us 1.8 something. So I will just try to swap back eagle on the front, armor on the second. I'll just do one more time on this side and see what it does. And press return. Okay. Yep, return. Okay, then swap the golden on the first and eagle on the second. Let me just try to test if the officer version is different. Okay, somehow we have better damage, 2 point something even better than the 1.8. So more grade might not equal to more damage, but the double damage somehow affected better, I guess. Yeah, little bit funny, but I'm not sure how it worked like that. Okay, getting it back. Okay, we have 1.94, so it's definitely better to have golden first and then second with this eagle. Really not sure how it work on 7th grade. Like how can the 7th grade having the damage is lower than the 4th grade, right? Definitely make no sense. So that's why I have to keep on testing. Maybe some others angle will give us more damage than the middle one. That's what I suspect. Yeah, now give us a little bit too less, not even a millions damage. So I think everyone learned a lot from this, and yep, that's what I want to do. So before end of this live stream, I'll do one more test of this bomber. Just do one bomb. Yep. And go back. Just mainly compare normal bomber versus the Liberty. What's the damage we have, right? So being a little bit easier to understand what is really happening. Okay, so we still have to deal with 1.76 on the damage, but you have to remember that the comparison of what I have, this one is 7.1 star, this is 6.1, and then this one I have max out my modifications. The Liberty I didn't have the last level to max out the firepower. So that's the main difference. Okay, so next time when I have the 7-star Liberty or 7.2 star, then I will definitely try to do the test again. I think this is really all for today's live stream, and hopefully everyone learned one or two things. And once again, say goodbye and thanks for everyone for watching.